When you do all mail-in voting ballots, you're asking for fraud.
President Trump has long sought to discredit mail-in voting, portraying it as a system rife with fraud.
People steal them out of mailboxes. People print them, and then they sign them, and they give them in. And the people don't even know where they're double counted.
But it's been used for decades, with little evidence of any significant problems. In fact, it formed nearly a quarter of voters in the 2016 election. And with public health fears, that number of absentee votes is expected to almost double on November 3rd.
This will be, in my opinion, the most corrupt election in the history of our country.
Election experts disagree. They say it would be nearly impossible for an election to be disrupted by fake mail ballots. Why? Well, for one thing, there can be hundreds of different ballot designs in a single county alone. That's because voters aren't just voting for the president, they're voting for the local mayor, the town council, the sheriff's office, etc. So the ballot for one district will be different than their neighbors. And there are over 3,000 counties in the United States. These are also printed on a very specific type of paper with technical markings. States require voters to sign the outside of the envelope, which is matched to a signature they have on file. As such, documented cases of fraud are very rare. Take Oregon, for example, where over 15 million mail-in ballots have been cast since 1998. Of that 15 million, only 14 fraud cases have ever been found, and that's according to the conservative think tank, the Heritage Foundation. Fraud aside, there are drawbacks, though. 1% of mail-in ballots were rejected in 2016 for arriving too late or missing signatures. They can pose disability and linguistic barriers, and delivery can be problematic where residents lack street addresses, such as on Native American reservations. But it can minimize the risk of long lines, faulty voting machines, and staff shortages. Turnouts also tend to be higher in states that conduct elections by mail. So if fraud is so rare and it boosts voter turnout, why do Trump and Republican allies take such an issue with it? Trump has even himself submitted absentee ballots through the mail.
The Democrats are also trying to rig the election by sending out tens of millions of mail-in ballots.
Republicans worry that easier voting will hurt their party's election chances. They say an increase in the ease and number of mail ballots would favor Democrats, who are themselves confident that more ballots counted would translate into more election victories.
We do not have mail-in ballots. We do not have same-day registration. And these are all enormous obstacles to the vote.
Democrats are therefore pushing to expand vote-by-mail options. Roughly 1/3 of states currently require a valid excuse for a mail vote. 30 allow it on request, and 5 states send ballots to all voters automatically.